And so that leads me to the question, which is that feeling that I feel, for example, when I feel excited or when I feel love or joy, is that what source is? Because
it is, but you see, it's a relationship thing, and as you manage your energy, you'll feel it. In the beginning, what a lot of people think that desire is that feeling of wanting something that they can't figure out how to get. There's a sort of yearning edge to it. And when that yearning edge goes away, they think they don't want it like they once wanted it, because most people really think they have to hurt a little to really want something, you see. So it's all this relational thing. What happens is what that feeling of alignment is, it can feel like utter knowing. It can feel like fascination or interest. It can feel like something incredibly humorous. It can feel like love that is just oozing through you in such a powerful way that you can't even find words to describe it. In other words, this vortex is a range of good feeling, high flying, fast moving vibration, you see. Here's something that we've not said before. Your emotions at their keenest are always noticed by you when you're in motion, moving toward who you've become. Once you get there, it's a feeling of well-being. Yeah. It's a feeling of calm, satisfaction, love, appreciation. Helpful?
Very helpful. Now, what I'm trying to find out is, so what is source then? Is it that the feeling is, I guess, the feedback from that.
Source is the state of being, the state of consciousness that maintains that highest frequency that has ever been reached for.
Okay.
You see, that's the only difference. Did you get that? That's the only difference, really worth mentioning, between source energy and what you are as physical humans. Source goes immediately to that highest frequency and maintains the frequency, because the ability to focus without resistance resides there. Now, we don't want to burst any bubbles at all, but to be really, really technically accurate, which seems to be what a lot of this group desires today.
Yes.
To be really, really technically accurate, we have to say that there is contrast where source dwells as well. But the frequency of the contrast would be completely non-distinguishable by you from your physical format. The fine-tuning of it is that fine. So the way we would play it if we were standing in your physical shoes is we'd know what we don't want, we'd know what we do want, we'd talk mostly about what we do want, we'd get familiar with it, we'd make that the thing that's chronic in our vibration until that's the practiced vibration, and then we'd move right into alignment with that, and then we'd explore whatever contrast surrounds us, and we'd launch another rocket, then we'd turn our undivided attention toward that, and we'd feel our way to the alignment the source has already found. Because source stands as the maintainer of that frequency, and that's why the light's always on there. That's why you can always feel your relationship to it, you see. And the only reason that all humans, more like the animals of your planet, don't feel the alignment, the instinctual alignment in a keener way than they do, is because almost as soon as you got here, well-meaning parents said, never mind how you feel. It's important to your well-being that you please me. And they make it pretty clear. In other words, as long as you're pleasing them, things go pretty well on the home front. But when you stop pleasing them, then things get a little screwy for you. And so most people are trained right away from their awareness or from their relationship with who they really are. But then they go through life and they keep searching, they keep looking, because they can feel that something's missing. There's a void that they try to fill with drugs and alcohol and food and relationships and buying one more thing and bringing it home. In other words, you can feel the emptiness that exists in that vibrational discord, you see. Yeah. But now you all know too much. You now know who you are. You now know your vibration. You now know the larger part of you maintains your vibration. And you now know each and every reason for each and every funny feeling of emptiness within you. You know every time. It's a simple thing. You're just not up to speed with who you are. And it's not Source saying you need to be there or you should be there. It's just the simple state of affairs that you're not up to speed. You aren't up to speed. You could be, but you're not. You could be, but you're not. That's what negative emotion is. So as you start to really dwell in this positive emotion, as you accept that the vortex exists, not as a place, but as a state of being, as you accept the concept of it and you understand your emotional relationship to it, and you prefer to feel good than not good, and you find yourself reaching for the best feeling thought that you can find on a myriad of subjects. And as you said, you practice the tools that have been offered, and especially what we are saying today about finding yourself in the vortex, who knows how you got there, but then milking it a little while, doing your affirming from inside the vortex. And that really is the power of what we're trying to offer here today, is that when you know what you know, and you know what feeling good really feels like, and you go from acknowledging that you feel good to appreciating that you feel good, to recognizing that you have control about how you feel, to intending to feel good. In other words, now you're getting more and more specific in the vortex, and now your energy is moving faster and faster, and you're feeling better and better. Until it won't be long before the majority of you will find your range of emotions is all inside the vortex, from satisfied sense of well-being all the way up, and all of that love and appreciation, all the way to that passionate, frisky, exhilarated feeling of empowerment that the Source within you feels at all times. Source, in all of this high vibration, this is such a good conversation to have, and so worth really understanding. We're going to take a little bit of time to do this here.
Please do.
So do you acknowledge that the vibration of Source is the highest conceivable vibration?
Yes.
And from the sake of the conversation that we've had today, would you say that Source probably is using more than 95% of its brain? In other words, would you say that the utilization of all of that is there?
Yes, yes.
High frequency, infinite intelligence, what humans are reaching for, Source has because humans have been reaching for it. In other words, everything that humans have reached for, Source has. Everything that humans have asked for, Source is. Are you feeling the power of this?
Yeah.
So now there's Source, here's Source in your vortex, knowing you, being the larger part of you. And here you are, let's say, for sake of example, not up to speed with it. Do you think Source would get you in Source's sights and just zap you with the higher frequency?
No.
Heal. Any more than that boat really wants to fly that 84 feet into the higher. In other words, are you getting what we're talking about?
Yes.
Source knows. Source knows the vortex canal is the way in. And in other words, ready yourself, and then take what you're ready for, and then ready yourself some more, and then take what you're ready for, and then ready yourself and take what you're ready for, and never again compare yourself with any other who is creating anything. The only comparative relationship that matters at all is the relationship between this vibration and this vibration, and you have full awareness of that at all times. Really good.
Thank you so much.
Out on the leading edge, not the bleeding edge, the leading edge. We are trying to get a clean shot here. Stand if you think it's you. Not you, further back. Yes. Wait. Yes. Wait. Yes. If you're, all is well. Just run.